Well, hello, everyone. We'll be starting in just a moment, so settle in. We'll be right back. Zoom recording. All right. So, hello, everyone. This is Lynn Hamilton, your lead instructor over here at Sampson Properties. I'm excited to bring you this particular edition of the Learning Trails. And in it, we are going to go through your business cards. We're going to talk about do's and don'ts for business cards, um, what should go on them, what shouldn't go on them. I tell you what, we have seen more business cards thrown away than probably, you know, spoiled food out of your refrigerator. So we want to help agents understand a little bit about branding, a little bit about, picking out what they want and what they want to see happen on their business cards. It's not always just grabbing the company, plain template, nothing on the back and going for broke. So we're going to take a deep dive into it now. As soon as this recording is over, I'm going to take my handout here that we're going to be referencing. I will post it on my website under the Agent Resource Center tab under bonus handouts, which is, I think, is the first drop down box on there. So that will be there for you as well. I will also connect it to the recording of this session to have for you as well. So that's what the plan of attack is. So the exciting announcement that I want to throw in there is we have officially been able to kick off and launch the Learning Trails. Right now, it is being housed on my website under the Agent Resource Center tab. The drop-down box says Learning Trails, step by step. That is where that is going to be. What we have done is we have taken all the recordings of everything we've been working on for the last 2.5 years and have put them all in order, which was the original intent from the time I came on board here. So it has 0, the introduction. So if you're brand new and haven't done anything, that's where you'll start. It's going to give you kind of an overview and the reason why the Learning Trails and Jumpstart was built out the way that it was. From there, your next step is Jumpstart session 1. It has the handout. It has the recording. Then when you're done with that, 2, and it just goes all the way through the top 20, believe it or not, classes of information that you need to digest to help your business. Now, we even took it one step further. On the how-to page of my website, again, Agent Resource Center, drop down how-to instructions. We are going to be grouping the how-to instructions based off of the class. So let's say you're starting on Jumpstart session 1. We get to the pay or your tasks that you need to stop and do on your email signature. And you're going, yeah, but I don't know how to put an email signature into my emails. We've gotten that call. We've gotten that question. So don't laugh. So there will be in the how-to instructions under Jumpstart session 1, every task that may need a how-to. 5 to 10 minutes is what we're trying to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. So if you need it, it's there, but it's not consuming time during the full recording to take up time for you to go, I know this, let's move on. So the Learning Trails is mapped out with the handouts, the how-to instructions to support, and will be labeled for each and every session so that you can cross-reference them easily if you need the how-tos. So there you go. All right, I'll be sending out some emails out over that and announcing that here real soon. All right, so today, let's take a chat about your business cards. First thing I want to bring to your attention, and again, if you've gone through Jumpstart, you go, oh yeah, I remember this. In Sampson Cardinal Nest, in Sampson University, there is currently a video. It's 8 minutes and 23 seconds. It's about logo and identity branding. So the best way to find it is you just go right into your Sampson University. In the search box up top, just search logo and identity branding. You should be able to see that on my screen right now. It's going to talk, it's 8 minutes and 23 seconds. It's going to talk about the emotions of color. And so if you're thinking about picking a color palette to brand yourself with, hopefully this will give you a couple of ideas to help guide you along. Okay. So let's go to our next screen. Hopefully it will rotate over for you. There you go. So you want to select a color and I'm going to say a logo that you want to kind of brand yourself with as you're developing this app from the beginning. Whether it's a key or a house or who knows, whatever, there's lots of different options there. So you absolutely want to make sure that you are kind of taking a pause and saying, okay, how do I want my marketing to be labeled and branded? And a color will absolutely do it. Now, you can have fun with it as well. You can use 2 off the Richter scale colors. I know someone that did an orange and a yellow because those were her 2 favorite colors. It turned out beautifully. I've seen lime green and turquoise. I've seen, pink and purple, so it doesn't have to be your black and white always. Now, if black and white is your thing, knock yourself out and go for it. But you do have options there. Okay. You want to make sure that when you are going to be using the term realtor, only if you are one, that you make sure that the little R in the circle, which stands for registered trademark. No, it does not stand for realtor. It stands for realtor or registered trademark. If you're using the term, the title realtor, you need to make sure that the R registered trademark goes after it. Okay. Now, again, I'm hoping that the screen is showing up and it is showing through my little coloring palette out there. You want to make sure too, one of the first things you get in place is a professional headshot. I think most of you are good there, but you do need to remember that it does need to be updated every 5 years. So yes, ladies, those 1980 glamour shots we had done, yeah, we looked good, but we can't use those anymore. So make sure that it is a preferred professional headshot taken within the last 5 years, and it still looks like you. So if we've had a major overhaul done, haircut change, color, whatever, we need to have a new photo done because this falls under consumer protection. The consumer has a right to know who's coming to see them and make sure that it matches. Okay. The worst thing you want is to give someone your card and they look at it and go, is that really you? Okay. All right. Next piece of your puzzle. You're going to be choosing a business email address and or a domain name. Now, hopefully you've already are long past this, but for those that are brand new with us, I want to make sure that we addressed it. Gang, do not use your personal email address. Your credibility goes straight down the drain the minute someone sees that. So yes, keep your personal email, but keep it separate from your business email. That is probably the one thing that drives me to drink more than anything else is agents that come in and first off, they don't know that, but they don't do it once they know it. Same thing with a domain name. If you're going to get a domain name and your business email, please get it done before you order business cards. Okay. If you're going to get a vanity URL for your website, because right now you get your first name, last name, .samsonproperties.net, which is the address that is connected to Bold Trails. And I'm not sure about Lofty, so don't hold me on that one, but I know that Bold Trails is how it's done. If you do choose to go get a vanity, what they call a vanity URL, you can get it from a half a dozen places. And right now, all these companies are buying off each other and merging and blending. So GoDaddy is obviously one. Google Domains is another. Whois.com is also another one. But there's a lot of domain options out there. What you want to make sure is once you purchase it, it is typically an annual renewal to keep it going. So you don't want to lose it. Sometimes in the beginning, they'll give you like $1.99 for the first year, and then it's $12.99 or whatever for the year after that. Sometimes they'll let you buy it in, 3 or 5 year blocks. And so that's usually a good way to go as well. Now, when you have it, you will forward it over to your Samson website. Once you're ready to do that, we do have instructions, simple as can be, of a how to make that happen. All right, so you have .com, .org, .net, .info, .what. Here's again what a lot of agents and people don't know. .com was originally started for the commerce. That was back in the, what was it, 80s or whatever, everything was .com. Then a .org was created for organization. Churches, nonprofits, those type of places use a .org. You should not be using a .org. .net stands for networking, and yes, you can use a .net, and .info is also an acceptable option for you, especially too if the name that you're wanting is not available in a .com, it might be available in a .net or .info. People nowadays know to look and double check at the .what. Way back when, it was only .com. That was all people understood and grabbed. And so when the .net and .info started, I know some people would say, well, what if they do? People understand now. Okay. It's like when phone answering machines first started, part of your message would be to wait for the tone and start your message. You don't need to say that now, because people have been using phones or answering machines or voicemails for the last 20 years. They know to wait for the tone. Okay. Same thing with .com, .net, .info. Do not use a .org, and certainly do not use a .gov, because you're not one. Okay. So that is kind of some guidelines on there. We talk a little bit in Jumpstart Session 1 about your email signature line, what needs to go on it. I'm just going to jump past that right now. But you just real quick, you do want to have your company name or logo on there, your first name, last name, job title, phone number, social media icons if you want, any banner if you do, any special offer, like, click here to go enjoy my monthly newsletter. And then, of course, the company physical address in which you are at. So let me jump past these. All right. On this one, royalty-free images. As you are creating a business card or as you are creating your logo, you want to make sure that if you're going to have an image, it needs to be royalty free. In other words, do not go to Google Images and just grab one of those images unless you want to pay the fine when somebody finally comes after you for it. Your safest place to go is either Pixabay, it's Pixabay.com. Pixabay will allow you to view images. Yes, there's a few that are paid, but there are thousands of free, royalty-free images that you can, in fact, download and use. The other option is Canva. Everyone's getting the buzz about Canva. I'm just learning it now a little bit more, and I'm addicted to it. I used to be scared of it. Now I'm addicted to it. That's how technology goes. So Canva is another good option because, again, you do have free versions in Canva, but then there's also a paid version as well. You should be able to, in the beginning, start with the free version, and then when you're ready, you will know if you need to upgrade to the professional version based off what you're wanting to do and how often you are, in fact, using it. Okay. All right. So let's get into the business card. Now that you've got your logo set, you've got your color palette set, you kind of know where you're wanting to go with that. You've got your business email address set up. You've got your domain name all set up and ready to go, whether it can be vanity or whether you're just going to go with the Samson, your first name, last name, samsonproperties.net. Where do you go from there? So what is your next step? Here's my takeaway on it. Do not make your business card what I lovingly call gum worthy. Do not make it to the point that it's going to go in my purse and at some point have my gum stuck in it. So you want to make sure that your business card has a bit of a pop to it. So before you order, you want to consider, obviously, the size of a business card is the size of a business card. When you are choosing a font and the font size, you on a business card, because it's small, you typically do not want any more than 2 fonts on the business card. Your name, in my opinion, should always be bigger than some of the other information that's going to go on there, but definitely you want a clean and crisp font. Now, you can use what I'm going to call a script type font as long as it is legible once you take a look at it. Sometimes you got to go through 2 or 3 fonts before you find one that you just fall in love with. Okay. The next component is what's important to go on your business card. First off, make sure your name is on there. And please don't laugh, because I've got one right here of a business card that doesn't have the name on it. You want to obviously have your phone number, your email, your website, and you want to have it legible, especially the phone number and the email address on your business card needs to be in a sharp, what I call crisp, legible font. There's some that are pretty and kind of fluffy and kind of scrolly. They're not good, because if somebody can't read it quickly and clearly and correctly, it's going to get bumped to the side, or they're going to send you an email and it's going to bounce back. They don't realize that they made a mistake in the email address. So they just assume, oh, I guess they're not around, whatever. Okay. And you lost them. All right. The next bullet point there is you must have the broker information on the card as well. You've got to identify which brokerage you are with. It is also strongly, if not required, to have the address and the office phone number of the brokerage in which you are at. Before you move on to preview, stop and check the spelling. Check the spelling, check the spelling, check the spelling. Because I cannot tell you how many times I have seen business cards come through and then there's a spelling error on it. So you don't want to have that happen to you either. Okay. All right. So let's have some fun, and hopefully you can all still see my screen. On this one, take a look at it. What is missing? Drop it in the chat box if you want. And then I'm going to tell you, we're going to go through about 4 or 5 of these. Where is her name? This is one, she forgot to put her name on it. So no sooner did she get them in, and she looked at that and went, oh, shoot. And it ended up going in the trash. Okay. Not a good thing to have happen. All right. So take a look at this one. Again, colorful, good layout, clean, crisp font everywhere. But what's the problem with this one? And if you guessed Samson is spelled wrong, you are correct. We looked at that because he was very proud of it. And we looked at it and went, yes, Samson spelled wrong. I will not tell you what came out of his mouth. And we all had a good giggle. Okay. All right. What about this one? Again, we know that her branding color is pink. But here's where the problem came in. The phone number where it says Samson Properties up at the top with the phone number, she should have used the Samson logo, in my opinion. And she's got 2 phone numbers on there, the one up there and the one down at the bottom. Which number are we supposed to call? So in my opinion, that was badly placed. I think it was almost like an afterthought of, oh, shoot, I need to stick it in there. But then when you also look at this one, you can also see that the font itself with her email and her website is very difficult to read. It's a thicker, it's got a flair to it, which is a cute font, but not conducive on a business card. Okay. What is wrong with this one? Nothing. It's Santa. There's nothing ever wrong with Santa. So there you go. All right. So let's talk. I'm going to give you some more examples in a minute. But let's talk about what goes on the back of the business card. Please do not ever leave the back of your business card blank. That is valuable marketing space, and you do not want to leave the back of the business card blank. You want to have on there, in my opinion, your best on the back of your business card is your mission statement. And y'all know the mission is to help them protect and maintain the value of their greatest asset, which is their home. And also, what's great on the back is a QR code that will go to your website. Now, with that website, I always encourage you to have what is on what that QR code is going to take them to. Is it going to be to your free reports? Is it going to be to a newsletter? What, and be specific on there. Tell them where that QR code is going to take them. As you know, QR Code Monkey is my preferred go-to choice because you can color gradiate it and you can color code it based off your logos and your branding palette. You can have some fun with it. And it's real easy to insert that in. And again, the how-to instructions are all within the how-to instructions. Okay. All right. So the back, again, valuable space. Do not leave it blank. Do not ever add a tip chart, a calendar, or blank. I'm not sure which one's worse, but there you go. You want to make sure that you are utilizing that valuable marketing space. Okay. All right. Let's go through my list one more time. Make sure, and again, this is one I'll be posting up for you, but I want to make sure that we cover everything on there. So your business card is the quick first impression that you're going to leave. You want to make sure that it is leaving the right impression and not dumped in the trash or put their gum into it. You want to make sure that your business email address is front and center. You want to make sure that your phone number is front and center. And you never want to use a personal email for business. There you go. There you go. All right. So what are the things that are the 9 things that need to be on your business card? Is first off your name, a professional photo. Make sure that it's within the last 5 years, your brokerage logo, and the office address. Again, that can be in, smaller print down the bottom, but still legible. You want your contact information of phone and email, and you want that to be prominent. So do not push it down at the bottom. I would have it front and center or right in the middle. Make sure, again, brokerage identification, we just talked about that. You want to make sure that the address and the phone number for the office is there. That's more of a legal requirement. You don't want to make sure that you don't leave that out. You want to have your website on there, but better yet, a QR code, and make sure you're telling them where that QR code is taking them. Social media. If you want to have your various social media links on there, you're certainly welcome to. My take on that is it may just be a waste of space because pretty much everybody's going to know you're on Facebook or what other social media, and that information can also be obtained from your website. Hopefully, when you have set up your bold trails, your profile, you can add the links to all your social media platforms, and it shows up in the upper right-hand corner of your website. So you've got it. Okay. Social media. Now I believe that you should have the MLS Realtor Fair Housing logo on your business cards as well. Your tagline and mission statements, again, a perfect place for them is on the back. And any legal disclaimer that may be required by your state and or your brokerage. I always throw that one in there because sometimes people from other footprints or other states are hearing this or listening to this. And I want to make sure that everybody knows we got a lot of states, we got a lot of rules and regulations. So if you are in an area, double check with a broker or your board or your state that licensed you that your information is on there correct. And again, we talked about having the MLS Fair Housing Realtor icon on there, which is great. Most of this, again, is just in terms of layout too. That, some of this is just my personal preference or personal preference of what goes on the front, what goes on the back. It's your business card. You can do almost anything that you want. Okay. So let me make sure I've got my screen open here. Let me go ahead and get this opened up. There we go. All righty. Okay, so here's my takeaway. This card is one, let me see if I can get it up to the screen. This is our beautiful Karen Gray. She's on the call with us today. This is an exceptional card in my opinion. It has a great photo. It's got the house and the keys blended off behind her. You have no doubt that she's in real estate based off that picture. It is well laid out and love it. Yeah, it's a good one. Her favorite color is that purple. Anybody knows her knows that for a fact. So she's got that color band across the top and the bottom of the card, and also on the shirt in which she's wearing. So again, it just pops it right out and makes it extremely palatable and very enjoyable. Now, in there as well, you can see that her name and her information is all very clean, very legible, and is easy to read. So Karen, good job. On the back, she has kept the same color palette with the burgundy or the purpley band across the top and the bottom. She's got her mission statement on there, and then she's got her other credentials on there. Now, we call it the alphabet soup. She's for certified distressed property expert. Now, what she has done is she's put the icon on there, but then she wrote out in small font what that means. So again, excellent layout, excellent job. Kudos to you. That is one of my faves.
Could you display that once again, please? I would like to take a picture of the card.
Okay, let me throw it up there. Does that do it?
Yes, one more time, please.
Okay, I'll hold it.
Thank you. Okay, the back.
The back.
Hold on, I have to mute myself because my name is covering it.
Okay.
Done, thank you.
Okay, there you go. All right, I have lots of examples of bad ones, but I also have some other creative good ones. Now, I will tell you, there is a card that was done by a gentleman, and it is a clear plastic. Where he got it, I have no idea, but it is unique. It is creative. It is that wow. And it looks dynamite. So again, you can be as creative. Now, here comes the questions. Round corners or square corners? I don't care. Personal preference. Gloss versus matte? Personal preference. I don't care. Here's the one takeaway problem. If you have, like this one's got nothing on the back, okay? The problem with that is you can't write on it. Pencil, because it's a little bit of a gloss. Pencil does not write on the back, and pen often does not write on the back. So not necessarily a good option. The front doesn't look too bad, but the back, not so much. Now, Karen's, again, I love it because it's unique. it's a grayish or gradiated gray color through it. I don't want to, I got an extra one of hers. You can kind of write on it, but gang, you really don't need to be writing on the business cards. Now, let me share a few bonuses for you. Let's say you are going to go and do some networking at an event, at a trade show, at a realtor event somewhere. I do know that some agents have gone and got their information on the front. They went to Vistaprint or someplace inexpensive, created a card, and on the back it says, "You met me at blank," and they would either write it in, a networking function, and then they would also put on there, "I'm your go-to source for," and in what area. So I know that some of our Samson agents have done that. And what they created their card was, "I'm your fellow Samson agent serving DC, Maryland. When we have events or HQDU in West Virginia, they would come over and they would network with the agents in West Virginia and vice versa." I know a couple of the West Virginia agents who had, got a specialty card made, just got 100 of them, and then would go to the DC, Maryland, Northern Maryland, White Marsh area and network with agents there. Because again, if they've got a client that needs to go that direction, isn't it better to have already someone that you've met and that to refer to versus just, randomly posted on Facebook. Does anybody work this area? And you're going to get God knows who. Okay. So that is an idea there. I've done it. It's worked magic. And I don't make it glossy. So if I need to write anything else on there, I can. But again, especially for those that may be doing some major networking or even within our Samson agents, there you go. There's an idea there. When I used to get the magnetic little calendars that went on the refrigerator, I always got the ones for either house maintenance or yard and house ideas. Remark, REAMARK.com, remark.com. Their specialty is flyers and postcards and yada da 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 for real estate agents. This time of the year is when they come out and you can get them. There certain styles sell out fastest. The home maintenance and the yard maintenance and that type of topics, those sell out faster. So if you're interested in that, go check them out, get them ahead of time. I used to create a custom business card that went on the top portion of that because it was a peel and you stuck your card on. I created a specialty card that had, of course, all my legal information on there. And then it says, be sure to check my website monthly for updated tips and information. I would often use whatever was on that month, tips and information, as a bonus in my blog or in anything else I was using. So again, I took one thing and I leveraged it, to have and be able to use over and over again. Okay. Was already a comment that was coming in. So that is another specialty on a business card that, sometimes you just need to get a generic one somewhere. And you can get them online for next to nothing. Okay. All right. Let me go back to my little notes, make sure I got you covered. Again, proof, and reproof. Have somebody else proof it. Have somebody else check it. Make sure that it is correct. on the back of this handout, I give you an example of kind of a layout. Again, the layout of it is not cut and dried. It's more of making sure that it is legible and that it can be read and somebody can read it, the phone number and the email address without putting their glasses on. So there you go. All right, so that runs down the list. Your name, your title, excuse me, business name and logo. QR code is always a great addition. Your professional email, social media if you need it, your any accolades you have, and of course the registered trademarks are also good to have on there as well. So those are the highlights. So with that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take a peek in our chat box and see if there are any questions that I can answer for you while we're skimming through here. There you go. Hear music now. I only hear like, okay, good. We were talking about the music. Yeah, I believe we can have an email address through Lofty. I'm not sure on that one. I'm not as familiar with what Lofty can and cannot do. Yes, Kevin mentions there is also on an email address through, I think it's through NAR, is you can get a .realtor and .real estate that you can purchase through NAR. So that is another one. Pixels are another free photo site. Yes, indeed. Again, there's probably half a dozen of them out there. Just make sure if you are taking an image, it is absolutely a free, royalty-free image site as well. Yes, Kevin, broker information is a DPOR and NAR requirement. And it is on your state, it's often on a state exam question. Yes, you do need to make sure that you are compliant. I am amazed. Gang, I'll tell you a little secret. If these organizations ever gotten into financial trouble, they could charge $500 for a violation of proper branding. They would make a fortune in a nano of a second because so many of these are not compliant. That includes email signatures. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, I'm going to continue to scroll down. All right. But putting in an appointment on the bat, I wouldn't. I mean, because you're not. If you've got an appointment with them, you're going to email them. You're not going to put it on the back of their cards. That's for the dentist to use, not for real estate. So I wouldn't. Yes, please do not call yourself an expert, except if it is in the title or certified distressed property expert. Kevin, will you unmute for a minute and chat with us?
Yeah, most of the regulatory agencies out there, you'd have to be able to prove it. The lawyers have a field day with it, and most of the regulatory agencies are going to be looking for you to prove that you are an expert in some sense. But NAR and again, most of the regulatory agencies have said, you know, as long as it's in a title, you're okay. But if you call yourself a neighborhood expert and you don't tell the buyer about the potential flooding at the entrance to the neighborhood, things like that, you're going to cook.
Yeah, yeah. And for those that don't know Kevin and I have known each other for 100 years or thereabouts, and does a lot of trial work in the real estate world. So he gets to see not the good, but the bad and the ugly. So that's why I always love having him on here and love having him join in with 2 cents, because again, there's a lot of, I'm going to say, violations out there that, God forbid, if the wrong party ever decided, oh yeah, we need to make some money, they'd be going after agents in a heartbeat. So make sure you stay compliant. There you go. All right. So those are some tips for the good, bad, and the ugly, of the to do and the not to do when it comes to your business cards. Hopefully this has helped. will help you design yours. Please, if you are going to be creating a new business card and want me to take a look at it, email me over the draft. I'd love to take a look at it. And yeah, I do give you responses back. I am going to post, as I say, this little handout online here in just a couple minutes, along with this video recording. So with that, let me go ahead. I'm going to put my video recording on, recording back on. Kevin, the question that was brought up, when agents are licensed in multiple states, which they often are here in Sampson, because they may be West Virginia and Virginia, they may be Virginia, DC, Maryland. What is the best practices for their business card when they're licensed in multiple states? What's your answer?
Right. And again, this is exhibit A at trial, by the way. So, I love to see these things. But I would recommend, unless you're going to have just a great big smudge, or I like Lynn's idea about having a larger than normal business card, something that doesn't fit necessarily in in a holder someplace, then maybe you could do it. But do you have to have, and again, some states like Virginia require that you have certain things on a business card that you'll have different things that are required on a website. So that's good news for all of us, because it's the print media that gets us in trouble. But if you had a business card for each state, I mean, you're paying more in your license renewal than you're going to pay for business cards. I would probably do that. But if you're going to put them all on each business card, if you're going to put 3 states, and I'm proud of you that you've got 3. I really am. But put all 3 of them on the business card, it's going to get a little cumbersome. But that's where the back end. So my business card is a fold over. I should have pulled. Oh, here. So my business card is a fold over business card. Of course, now I won't be able to find it readily, but anyway, it folds over like a 10. And so now I have 4 surfaces to use for marketing purposes. Plus, it also makes it so that I win all the raffle prizes, because it pushes everybody else's card down to the bottom. Okay, so and again, I taught sales and marketing for the real estate professional at UCSD. So but this was a way that I was able to fit a lot of stuff on the business card that you might not otherwise. So Karen, in your situation where you've got 3 states, you might consider that foldover card, because that also sets it apart from everybody else's card. And you've got plenty of platform for doing it, because you have 4 surfaces to work with now.
And I think I like that answer, because when you are licensed in multiple states, I think your customers or your clients would like to know where you're located. Because if you're located, let's say, in Columbia, Maryland, and you're servicing York, Pennsylvania, I think they might not want to travel to Columbia to meet you. So you probably want to have a local address there.
Yeah.
Well, again, different for print media than what you're going to put on your website, which your whole goal behind your business card is to point them to your website. I think Lynn's already said that, right? I mean, people just don't, half the time people just say, here, I'll just scan it with my phone. Half the time we don't even do business cards anymore. But I think the goal is to get people to, learn more about you. But if you put an address, if you've got 3 different addresses and none of them are close to where the client is, I don't think the business card's going to really matter that much. I don't think you've already met them, right? Because you physically handed them a business card. In the old days, Lynn, you remember in the old days, we used to throw our business cards in with utility bills and things like that, because on the off chance that somebody would, who was opening those envelopes would maybe call us.
I forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, today they're all machine read and everything else. But the goal is to get people to remember you, and so I would make your business card stand out. I think that's really, and Karen makes a good point. You've got 3 licenses. I'd be bragging to the high noon. I mean, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, another point there. So let's say you have
There are several points there.
you have 3 different states on your business card, and you have a folded style. Then do you think that would be playing for you or against you when they see 3 different addresses and they'll say, oh, this agent is too busy, I don't know where they are most of the time? Would that play against you or for you, you think?
No,
I don't
when's
think
the last time you
plays
met
against-
somebody at the office? I mean, and so on that same note, are you going to put all of the Samson property, all the Samson office addresses on your cards? I mean, you'll run out of ink, right? I
Yeah,
think,
or would you put your primary office? So my primary office is Columbia, Maryland, but I'm licensed in Pennsylvania as well. Now, the reason why I'm adding perks to this question is because I'd like to be clear on that as well.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think you need 15 addresses on your business card. I think you have to have an address to be compliant. On this is on the business card now, at least in
Mhm.
Virginia. I can't tell you what Maryland or DC are going to do. Um, my card gives you plenty of room, right? Plenty of room to do things. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, and that's on the inside of the fold. On the outside, it's my high school dating photo right there. Um, Actually, that photo, God, Denise, I've had that. How long have I had this picture? I think I've had it 8 years, but I still look good. So anyway, and then of course my logo and all that stuff on the back. But listen, our people, if I walked past you and you had this business card and you looked at that, would you know it was me? You probably would. And that's the idea behind the 5 year compliance that most jurisdictions have. They want your picture to be less than 5 years old. I put a picture in the chat of a guy's business card that he gave me that it's just amazingly obviously not him, but gave it to me about 15 years ago. And I said, the Department of Real Estate's going to have a ball with you, right? Because that's clearly not, there's no requirement that you have a photo on your business card. But if you have a photo, it has to be a current photo.
Yes.
So those are the rules. But as Yasmin, so yeah, I don't think if I put my address as being on Dunn in Fredericksburg, are people not going to do business with me if they're in Fairfax? I don't think so. I think that's just because I want people to be able to locate me if they have to. And
Mhm.
and in some places it's like for service of process and stuff like that. But I don't think I would put all the addresses of Samson on one business card. You'll run out of ink.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
could
or
put
would it?
across the top licensed in DC, Maryland, Virginia, or whatever the states are. You could put. I've seen that done a lot too, where it just says licensed in, and then it has the abbreviation of the states.
Yeah, and then I would put the license number after each one. I think you should be proud of that. If you've got a license that a government agency gave you, I think you should brag about it, right? So, and again, in some jurisdictions, it's required by law that you put it on your cards. NAR's Code of Ethics handles it differently than the jurisdictions will handle it. NAR says you have to have your affiliation with your brokerage. They don't care about your license number, but your jurisdiction probably does.
Mhm.
But you have to and if you're a realtor, absolutely, Lynn's right. Absolutely. The realtor logo, MLS logo, fair housing logo, those need to be on all of your and get the current ones. Just go to nar.realtor, you get all the current downloads. It's easy.
Right. Or would you advise a one-liner instead of like 20 addresses in there? You would say, I can meet you anywhere in your local jurisdiction. Um, I mean, that would be
I don't
something
think
that,
that's necessary. I think that's a given. You know, um, just that's just my opinion on that. Kevin, you got anything else on
Yeah.
that one?
My offices all have a green awning over them, and Lynn's going to laugh because she knows what I'm talking about. But all of my offices, I meet them at a coffee shop. Right? But I'm not going to put the coffee shop addresses on my business card. I am required in Virginia to have an address on print media. So at that point, I am going to have an office address. But again, I don't know if I'd order 65 business cards for all the offices Samson has and have each one have a different address. I think that's silly. I don't, and it's not necessary.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that the takeaway to this is consumer protection.
Yeah.
If God forbid you did something that was god awful and the consumer needs to track you down and you are not responding, their next step is to go to your brokerage. So in that scenario, any of the offices that you are licensed with that are your main office that shows up on your business card, they would know that that office knows where they can track you down at, hopefully. So that's kind of that part of that of the consumer protection issue that comes with with information on your business card. Kevin, I've got one more question for you. Those that use a nickname or their middle name, what is the proper way for them to handle that on their business card? So let's say, Karen Gray, but her legal name on her license through the state is Lynn Karen Gray, but everybody knows her as Karen. What's the guidelines on nickname or using a different name other than the legal name on the license?
And that's a great question. And if Karen's name was a Rapunzel, I don't know. Some people don't like their name.
Right.
Some people will put their a nickname on their business card. In the old days, it was a big deal. You had to have your name as it appears on your real estate license. That was a rule. But today, if you've got your license, your regulatory licensing number on there, whether it's DPOR or DRE or any of those, they look past the nickname thing. I mean, the object behind it, you said it a second ago, is we want the public to readily be able to find you. You want them calling your broker. Trust me, you do not want them calling the regulatory agency, because if they go there first, then there's going to be some serious repercussions for that. And I'm not sure that, it's kind of like, should you go to arbitration or should you go to trial? I personally like trial, but, arbitration, I don't know if the arbitrator's breakfast was good or not versus, I go to trial, I got 14 people I can work with. So it's okay.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Piggyback off of Kevin's, when he cautions us to make sure with your jurisdiction rules and stuff.
Yeah.
In Maryland, you actually have to submit a request to use a different name other than your birth name. So if I wanted to say Lynn Karen Gray and I want to be called Peaches, I have to send something over and get it approved and paid for to use that Peaches thing in Maryland. So just be cautious on that, because Kevin also cautioned about using the word expert. Maryland says you're not an expert. You can use words specialist, knowledgeable, whatever, but do not use that word expert. So just be versed on the jurisdiction requirements on which you are, where you are licensed.
I'm a court certified expert witness, but I never call myself an expert. I would never do that. I don't even think I put that on my cards, but as long as it's in a title, you're okay. But I would never put neighborhood expert on a business card. I've got enough lawsuits on that. You'll cook for that. That's not good. But good point, Karen. Good point.
Yeah.
And the jurisdictional thing again, you need to check with your broker, because they're going to know what those rules are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good point. Well, this is going to wind down our time. Thank you so much for all the interaction and the exchange of ideas. I appreciate it big time. Hope this has given you some great ideas in terms of branding yourself and color branding yourself and creating that image and that logo that you are able to run with from this point forward on not only your business cards, but on anything and everything. Again, they will start seeing that logo come in and go, oh, yeah, we've gotten stuff from her before, or yeah, we've gotten stuff from him before. So again, that is a great takeaway, which is why we encourage you to think about it in the beginning. Now, frankly, I would rather have most agents hand out a newsletter than a business card any day of the week. Again, it's going to stay in the person's hand a lot longer, and hopefully provide them something to read that's of value besides the business cards. So Karen, thank you so much for letting me feature you as a great business with a great business card. I know you put a lot of work into it and you did an awesome job. So thank you and kudos to that. Thank you, Kevin, as always, for your additional insight. I appreciate it. And I know everybody else does as well. So with that, we're going to wind down this edition of Do's and Don'ts on your business cards. I will see you all in the next episode. See you soon. Bye for now.